Hey guys, today we're going to look at the tutorial from Nioh, which was recently free on the PS4, and it's actually a pretty good game. I'd call it a mix between like a Dark Souls. It's easier than Sekiro, easier than Dark Souls as far as getting your stuff back. I mean, it's actually pretty much identical to Dark Souls, and I don't want to take away from the game itself. I haven't actually delved into it yet. But this was my first look at it. Decided to play the tutorial mode, which is optional after you beat the first boss, which that footage is also included in the video. So here we go. At this point in the game, you should have already known how to do these things because to get here, you had to beat the first boss. So that's kind of a weird way to start your game. But we learned anyway. Strong attacks and quick attacks. Pretty typical fighting game affair. I didn't have my sword equipped because I didn't realize it didn't auto switch when you equip something, so be aware of that. That's my own personal tutorial. Don't forget to make sure your weapon's equipped like that. And you basically just do these little things. It tells you what to do. You hit a new fire thing, whatever those are, and you do the next part. And it's kind of weird if you already do the thing before it tells you to, it'll make you do it again. Otherwise it won't count. I think there's a few times I did that in this. Sorry, I thought for sure they would have something worth like collecting for doing this optional tutorial, but no. See, I killed that guy the first time. I did the guard dodge and it still didn't count. Much like Dark Souls, when you're blocking, you regain stamina slowly, and when you unblock, you regain it faster. So I suggest learning how to unblock when you want to regain real quick, run away while you're doing that, and then blocking and attacking. It's the best way to keep your stamina up. This whole stance thing is kind of weird, especially trying to like decide when and how to use it. That wasn't really explained, or at least they don't give you any kind of visual cues as far as a pop-up goes to let you know when you should change to a certain stance. But basically I found the triangle stance is for power, that stance there was for speed, and I guess the next stance is for agility maybe, like makes you able to dodge better maybe, I don't know. That seems to be the three aspects of this game. All I did was change to each stance and kill the guy. It's a tutorial, I'll figure the rest out in game. This is kind of a weird aspect of it. I guess they want you to do this after every attack, which adds another kind of weird thing to keep track of while you're fighting. So I'm not a big fan of having a lot of things to keep track of while I'm trying to fight, especially when each one consists of a different button plus timing. So I gotta like be aware of what weapon I'm using, what stance I'm in, making sure I time my key regain. Like, there's a lot of aspects going into this game. Maybe I'm just a whiner. I don't know. It's supposed to be a hard game, so I mean, it's expected. It's just a weird way to do it, in my opinion. But we'll see how it plays out as the game goes on. Because they obviously have a reason for you doing that, which is about to be shown right now. It's for purifying. And please ignore my Darth Vader vaping in the background. PlayStation camera microphone was on, so it recorded all of the sounds in the room. One of those things I forget to keep track of when I'm recording video parts. But I'm getting better. Heck, you might be watching this years from now, and this could be one of my cringiest videos. I could be like really good by now. We'll see. So like here, I switched the weapon, but I did it before it told me to do it, so I had to keep killing these guys until I realized my mistake. And look at that. This seems like a pretty cool aspect of it. There's guns. I love a game that has guns, and technically there would be rifles in Samurai Time, so it's cool that they added that. I do like the menus. It's a very in-depth. It looks like there's a lot of things that you can really customize as far as your armor and your. I don't know what the accessories are yet, but we'll see. But so far, decent game. And the basics are honestly, if you've played any of the Souls games or any action type RPG, the controls are pretty basic. The only thing I would change in this is that circle is interact and X is dodge. And I would really like that if they were like... It seems like they only did that because Dark Souls, and they just wanted to be different enough to say, no, look, our controls are different. When really it just works better with dodge and roll being circle and interact being X, because you just press X to interact with things naturally in a video game, so why mess with that? But once you get over that little learning curve, which I only have because of my history of playing lots and lots of From Software games, so it makes sense. But the option to change that would be great too. Maybe customize the control scheme. And then yet another aspect to keep a watch on and keep track of is this living weapon, which is cool, but again, I don't really understand it because in the tutorial here they just give it to you. It's that circle, I guess, up on the left corner, but how you earn it, I'm not sure. But as you can see, cool as heck. And that's based on your guardian, I assume. So I chose the wolf. If you choose one of the other guardians, I'm sure it does a specific different move. But this is not a video about that. And here is my first boss, which you actually encountered before that previous tutorial. He killed me probably 3 times before I figured it out. But, I mean, this whole thing is very Dark Souls. There's no denying that, so there's nothing wrong with that. Lords of the Fallen also tried to do that. They weren't too bad at it. Game's not great, but so far this game is pretty good, like I've said. I'm already frustrated at the first area that I've entered, so I mean, that's a good sign. So obviously there's two parts to this, and this part was the one that was giving me trouble. As you can see, he can usually one-shot you there. I don't know how I survived, but I found the best way to take care of this guy is to just whittle away at him. I'm sure there's some secret technique that I'm missing out on, but I haven't learned it yet. Like, I wonder if my Purify would affect that cloud around him. Because I didn't know that was a thing, but now that I do. And I thought I was fighting him to take his health down, but it looks like I was fighting him to raise up my wolf attack. So that's probably going to be the move for all the boss fights. But that is the tutorial and the first real boss in Nioh. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something or laughed about something. Thanks for watching. Bye.